Hi all, thank you all for joining today's session. My name is Prashant. I'm the Salesforce Community Group Leader for Pardot Vijayawada, which has been renamed as Vijayawada MC Group Account Engagement Group. I'm a 12-time Salesforce certified application architect. I'm a community group leader and technical lead at Apistoki Consulting Services.
Thank you, Prashant.
Thank you for.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. Good evening. Thank you for joining again. Myself, Anindra, and I'm working with Singapore. I'm working with Apistoki Singapore. It's a platinum consulting partner company. And I'm overseeing this entire marketing group in Singapore. And I'm a Slack community group leader in Singapore as well. I'm 34 certified and really interested to learn something new from all the time. Yeah, that's it from my side, but let's go to the session. Again, today our session is, if I can talk about very broadly, right? So the session in itself is like an integration of Interaction Studio with Experience Cloud, nothing but a community cloud, which is renaming as Experience Cloud right now. So we can personalize, we can make some recommendations and track user behavior in Experience Cloud. So far we see, Web SDK, mobile SDK with Interaction Studio, with mobile apps, web apps, and any offline apps, right? But we haven't seen anything that, especially integration of both the clouds, especially on the Interaction Studio and with versus Experience Cloud, right? Again, as I said, myself, Anindra, I'm based out of Singapore, working with Apistoki Singapore, a platinum consulting partner company, and I'm a Salesforce Marketers group leader and a Slack community group leader as well. If anyone has any questions, so please feel free to pose these questions in chat. So whenever I have a time between the sessions, I'll happy to help you out and I'll solve your queries. So today our agenda, today I'm going to talk about the Experience Cloud and Marketing Cloud personalization capabilities. Why I have talked about Marketing Cloud personalization is something recently the product names of Salesforce has been modified and they've renamed completely. So now Interaction Studio become Marketing Cloud personalization, and I'm going to talk about complete process of how to add an Interaction Studio JavaScript backend to Experience Cloud websites. And in order to talk Experience Cloud with Interaction Studio, right? So we need to deploy few Interaction Studio Lightning Web components, such as data capture, as well as a personalization to the Experience Cloud organization. And once we deploy those Lightning Web components, we just need to add those components into our internal Experience Cloud website through Experience Builder. And after that, we should once we design this, then there is a data streaming is required between both the clouds. That can be done through sitemaps and web templates, nothing but web campaigns. That we would like to learn about how we're going to configure those Interaction Studio sitemap and web templates to work with data capture and personalization components on the Experience Cloud websites, right? And finally, we would like to talk about what exactly the use cases that we are achieving today, what kind of use cases that we are accomplished in the Experience Cloud. So simply we can't able to integrate two platforms or the two clouds, right? So we just need to understand the use cases or the accomplishments, which can definitely help for the customers to take or to leverage these platforms more heavily, right? So let me join rest of the people. So just information. So all throughout the sessions, mention us in your tweets with the hashtag, and you can stand a chance to win a certification voucher. So if anyone put some more tweets and the lot of buzz that you people are creating in Twitter, then I can select the one guy who's having more number of tweets, and then I'm going to give one certification voucher with the cost of, which is the cost of 200 or 400 USD. Right. So I'm going to stay 1 second or 2 seconds here. So probably you could note down the Twitter IDs with the hashtags, then probably you could mention us in the tweets throughout the session, and you can stand a chance to win a certification voucher as well. Okay, so one more, don't go anywhere. We have another 4 certification vouchers giveaway via quiz at the end of the session. So it is something all equal for one. Some good questions which is designed by Prashant for everyone. So don't go anywhere. So we have some more 4 vouchers, which is the cost of 200 or 400 USD. You can leverage both the certification exams. And we have a forward-looking statement because I'm just leveraging a couple of slides from Salesforce thing. And once again, thank you for all joining. I know this is quite a hectic time for everyone to join on the evening sessions, and it's Singapore time 6 o'clock, and India time 3:30, and Australia 9 o'clock. So again, I would like to bring up this slide, which everyone wants to aware what has been changed recently. Of course, there is a Trailhead DX is going on with plenty of changes on the developer forums and developer consoles. But I would like to bring up something which is really understandable for everyone in the product ecosystem. There are some product names has been changed recently, which is definitely affecting marketers who use Salesforce normally. Marketing Cloud Email Studio turning into engagement part dot Marketing Cloud account engagement, CDP Marketing Cloud customer data platform, Interaction Studio become a Marketing Cloud personalization, email messaging and journeys becomes a Marketing Cloud engagement, advertising becomes Marketing Cloud advertising, Datorama, which is quite good, but the name also is quite good, Marketing Cloud intelligence platform. My Trailhead becomes Salesforce sales enablement, and you have final was that Salesforce CMS moving into digital experiences, right? So please make sure you just aware of these clouds, these naming conventions, which is really helpful for further session, for further slides at what we are talking about. Okay, now once we understand the agenda, so there are 4 key pillars that we are striving today from the digital experience side. What is exactly the number one? Number one is obviously portals, whether it is Experience Cloud designed by Salesforce or it is designed by some other open web standard platforms, nothing but Sitecore, Drupal, or any other WordPress, right? So everyone, the business is driving a value, and the digital leaders are blazing trails across every industry. If I look at for every industry, with the recent times and what we all learn about it, right? So there are people which really, when I look at offline versus online, from the last couple of years, that online has been gone a massive increase, the massive growth towards the digital media, digital experiences. That's where all the digital leaders in the current platform, they've gone they've got plenty of amounts in terms of the plenty of transactions, plenty of user increment, productivity, site launches, customers growth. So everything has been increased. So ultimately, it's all sites, it's all online websites that brings a lot of digitality for everyone, right? And now the portals are very capable of driving real value, as I said. With the recent terms, recent generation is growing, so it's a different story altogether, right? When we are in 1990s to 2020s, or 20 guys, 90 guys, so 90 guys, we what we are currently seeing, right? At the same time, 2020 people, the kids, wherever they are, like they can see all the mobiles, iPad, iPhone, everywhere they have in their hands. So that's where the real value of driving comes with the different digital metrics, which contains the portals, the web experiences, which automatically giving a lot of revenue increment, and the decreasing cost and decreasing churn value as well, right? Because you're combining complete digital into one single ecosystem where someone register with the portal and they place an order. Of course, the order has some issues where the customer service comes into the picture, and then they'll help you out for closing your case. And again, of course, they're decreasing your churn rate as well, because you don't need to follow up multiple times, because once the case has been raised, so you have many channels to reach out to them and then get your query resolved at a particular time, right? So let me see if anyone. Okay, so that's how the portals are capable of driving real value. And when we look at our Salesforce digital experience platform, what we have currently, when I talk about my first agenda, capabilities of Experience Cloud, as well as personalization platform, the Interaction Studio. So there are some tools. We are building connected websites, portals, and mobile apps. So we have different digital experience within Salesforce, right? We have experience management for content creators and events. We have a CMS platform. We have experience builder whom we are going to manage the title, the images, the header, footer. We have plenty of out of the box drag and drop components available, which we could leverage and then quickly build a portal within a fraction of hours, and then we can publish that. And we do have a mobile publisher where you don't need to do anything. You can just hand over all the headache to the Salesforce mobile publisher team, where they'll go and then they'll publish your mobile app. They'll publish the mobile app to Android store and the Play stores, app stores, and wherever it is. We have a starter apps, content management platforms. At the same time, we have development tools. You can build custom UI components. You have pretty much templates available for building your entire portal with the LWC, and you do have flexibility to build out of the experience cloud, which is nothing but lighting web components. You can still VF pages. You can build. You have ability that you can build all the custom UI and components. With that, we have process automation. We can build the flows and we can streamline the business process using process automation, data management, and we have an intelligence platform within digital experience, personalization, search mechanism, experience analytics. And infrastructure wise, we have security, data privacy, scalability, customer identity management. So all these are part of elements which were connected the dots to building the best websites, portals, and mobile apps, right? So when we go and look at each and everything, right, because I want to bring this experience to all the audiences to learn more, because we have learned community cloud past couple of years, but you want to, brush your skills. What else in community cloud has been come into the recent picture? So we're going to talk about what are all the capabilities which is bring down for 2022, so that we could aware of what community cloud can help you out, or what experience cloud can help you out to manage your entire site reliability or the customer growth, and decrease the churn, increase your customer service, right? You can manage everything. So when you talk about this, our first one is experience management. As I said, we have an experience builder where you can go and then drag and drop use. You can see here, you can drag and drop all this. You can get a lot of components. You can manage your color management, your UI management. You have pretty different settings altogether. You could add a third party CSS, HTML code to manage your site. You have advanced content security policies, CSP trusted websites. You could release the websites, and you could build everything into one single click using a VCV editor. And the two things, like one with desktop and mobile, you can just build mobile in a minute. And as I said, it's a design components without a code. As I said, we have plenty of components. You could publish your lighting web components, visual force components. We'll just click with Omni Studio Flex cards. If you are in a picture where, if you are in a Velocity Industries background, the Velocity Flex cards, the Velocity actions, if you build one Flex card, that can be reusable for everywhere. You can leverage that for inside your Velocity suite that is hosted on the Salesforce Industries Cloud. You could use the same Flex card in your Experience Cloud. You can use it in web, mobile, and wherever it is. There's the beauty of Omni Studio Flex cards. You could just leverage wherever it is. So it's just something like your Lightning Web component, nothing much in terms of that what you're looking for. Apart from your simple click on tool, they do have a different templates altogether, right? We do have Community Cloud, which you can reusable with different building blocks, right? So when you first start with creating a site, so ultimately it will give you configurable templates with the different industry and different services that what you are going to build, right? So if I want to build for partner management, I have a partner ecosystem template. I do have a B2B commerce template, B2C commerce template, help center template. So different templates are available with plenty of standard components as you seen here, right? You could use a content component, the forms, the layouts. You do have flexible standard components which supports your complete CMS that what you're going to design for your Experience Cloud templates. The best thing, content management. So when we talked about content management, it is a tedious process for everywhere. in order to manage the content and get it approved by your internal teams, and then publish the same content to the Experience Cloud sites, right? So you have to create a content unique to everyone, and you can still have an ability to display the content with different personas as well. That we can talk about when we try to integrate both the platforms. But we can see your content workflows. You can design a different content. You can manage the folder management. You could use the translations. You could manage the version history. It all syndicates content to every touch point, which can gives a lot of experience with your content management. And along with, you do have development activities. People think that, hey, can we build? It's all intuitive. Click on code, as we see, we get it available. But what else for the developers? Can we take a full control with Pro Code for the modern web applications? Of course, you do. As I said, you can build a pretty good HTML, but you can build Lightning Web Component, which consists of your client side, server side, all the code. And you could use JavaScript. Of course, you could use TypeScript as well with the recent changes. And you could build this entire components, and then you could just use those components, drag and drop inside your Experience Cloud. And along with, you could leverage your entire continuously integrate and innovate. So this element where you can use a Visual Studio, which you can leverage a Salesforce DX. It's one of the continuation platform for good deployments, and building your experience science with CI/CD and VCS tooling, which is quite significant, and as well as a quite maturity that what we follow normally, right? And the process automation. As I said, process automation contains the flows. If I talk about now, the flows are very much matured, and the plenty of updates are getting day by day, learning a lot of things here. We can control the full of automations inside Salesforce via flows. We would recommend everyone to leverage the flows rather than going any other ways, because it satisfies most of our functionalities with the customers. If some customer wants some screen flow component, which you can build it easily. Customer wants some logical conditional statements and display some sort of different content altogether, you can just use it. And you could use a full Salesforce automation suite, which you can leverage. You could embed the Salesforce flows or OmniScripts into your site or app to bring the external users directly into your process. And you can go with the fast industry specific solutions as well. You can build a flow for appointment booking, and this flow can be leveraged two ways. It help you for internal people as well as external people, right? So it's very nice. So I would recommend everyone to learn flows some sort of point, so that it can bring a lot of value addition for your career as well as your growth. Now the data management. So the data management, two things, right? Data management, which is managing your data inside your Salesforce instantly. The other way is to how I can connect this sites to my external third-party sites. So it is something like we do have CMS Connect, where you can leverage the CMS Connect to connect with any site core websites, WordPress websites. It is just a simple plugin where you can enable, and then you can bring the content into Salesforce and then display directly inside Experience Cloud. At the same time, we do have backup and restore facilities. When you do some change, Community Cloud or the Experience Cloud has an ability to restore the existing version as well. It is as quite as simple until unless you publish that, right? So that's the data management for thing. And from ecosystem perspective, so what else can Experience Cloud can provide you? It provides you a lot of free AppExchange product collections, which is sitting on AppExchange. You can go and then bring some installation packages, and you can leverage those as a part of an add-ons for multiple products like CPQ, Tableau Maps, MyTrailhead, and you can use different themes altogether. A Lightning Bolt is a one where we could just use that feature to deploy it to multiple apps, and you could use the same infrastructure to drive reuse. Because it's all like, so not only for this, for customer service, you could add your bot, and you can check your core package infrastructure to build your own package and bot. The bots to drive reuse your even it's like you are in a monetization phase where you can quickly adopt that and then enable that bot facility for external as well as internal people as well, right? For employees productivity, where they can quickly chart to internal HR management. For external people, where they can get some order history, order management, for different industries that you can leverage for the bolt for, and you could drive more quickly as well. So when coming to the personalization, so people, right, like, so in lot of internal customers, internal users who manages the uh, who logging into the portal, and they would like to manage the data for, okay, these role, this profile where I want to display some relevant content. Okay, this app page has to be displayed. If the country is so and so of Canada, then display so and so element, so and so app builder page. So you could manage all the specific, you could manage the content, you could manage the complete CMS level stuff using a data management, or you can use your personalization for making more experiences smarter in this. And along with it, it'll covers you for curated content with Einstein. You can display content that will drive conversations using CDP and Interaction Studio. That is the one that I'm talking about, how it can be easily done. And you could display some next best actions as well from Interaction Studio to Salesforce Experience Cloud. The search and SEO, right? So typically, two things. Recently, when we heard about multiple, I mean, not recently, everyone does the same thing where they have Google Analytics, and they would like to add the pixel of Google Analytics code to Experience Cloud side to capture all the experiences that what the customers are doing, the clicks and the number of views and all the stuff, right? So it supports a rich experience of adding your code directly to the head of directly to the head markup, which can work with the entire site normally. And it's become a search engine saving for you, and it has redirect with no regrets. With you can manage URLs, you could manage your trusted site protocols, you could manage your relaxed site XPs, you could manage everything. So that gives a lot of flexibility as well inside your Experience Cloud. And when it comes to analytics, as I said, they could improvise your public traffic, the number of page views, unique visitors, average users have been visited, questions. If you enable knowledge management to the site, you could get to know the questions and answers, answer by member type, best answers. You can build a lot of analytics, and you could embed directly. You could use those analytics inside your Experience Cloud, and you could use it in backend as well. So the infrastructure comes to the scale with fully managed global infrastructure. So it supports that complete core platform because it's all Salesforce product, which is supports complete core platform, and it supports completely a CDN content delivery network with high capacity of and which contains a rich ISO standards, which contains 8601 and a couple of other standards as per the international brand. And apart from this, sometimes, right, like, so I want to go with headless architecture, the headless architecture which contains simply the same API, the same content I could even leverage with the same APIs. And it built with most number trusted public cloud, as I said. So Experience Cloud is now enabled for Hyperforce as well, and it's a Salesforce new global public cloud infrastructure. So this is one of the main point where you can think about it, because now Experience Cloud becomes it is now enabled for Hypercloud, the Hyperforce. And as everyone aware, Hyperforce is one of the Salesforce new global public cloud infrastructure. You could ultimately build something and you could deploy it in your Hyperforce, because see, now the data center is sitting in different areas, right? When I talk about in Singapore customers, if they ask me where is data center, I can tell your data center sitting in Kobe, Japan. The question comes up, say, why my data sitting in Japan? So you don't have any managed services like AWS. So now the Hyperforce is the one, it coming with global public cloud infrastructure, which you can manage your services and data sitting in nearest area, so that you don't worry about your local data regulation policies and the rules. As security, you have event monitoring available. You can use that event monitoring product, and you could track your external user actions as well. You could check all their monitor internal and external access. They're all predefined reports and dashboards are available with event monitoring package. It is a separate product which everyone can leverage, and is one of the best product under Shield. It covers under Shield, and they can get to know what exactly the security of external people are doing, downloading views, logins, APIs, and everything. So the data privacy also, it's completely data privacy is one of the tool where like in Experience Cloud, it supports this the Privacy Center. Privacy Center is one more product like on a Salesforce Shield for Salesforce, and it supports Experience Cloud sites as well. And it gives a lot of flexibility for archival because it has their own architecture, which is really good. If anyone wants to try with archival backup solutions with Salesforce with heavy data lifted companies, then Privacy Center is one of the best to go for. And it supports, as I said, it supports Experience Cloud as well for managing everything. The scalability of managing your entire domain. So the biggest question, once you build an Experience Cloud in Salesforce, every enterprise company wants their own branded domains. How do we manage that? So you can just get the CSP trusted certificate from enterprise organization, insert and create a self-signed certificate and create a domain, and then point out the domain to the Experience Cloud website. That's it. And as I said, like it's Experience Cloud supports up to 100 million end users and 10 plus million daily page view per out of the box. And that's what we heard from different analytics. And they deliver with a global distribution network to bring your own, to improve your load times and responsiveness. It's a full stack Go headless architecture. You can use the same reusable content APIs with your front end. You can manage your full stack web platforms. It's not something that Salesforce guy can be able to leverage. Even the full stack developers who has a brand idea about CSS, HTML, and web components, obviously the person can be able to go and then jump and help you out. Identity management. It is the most trusted one where we enable identity for Experience Cloud. So you can use a different identity platform. You could build different login options with Experience Cloud, single sign-on and auth providers using Salesforce username password, the normal one. You could use Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn as well. And you could use any of the channels to logging into your Experience Cloud. Very easy, and you could unlock experience with biometric as well. So it's still the mobile publisher includes, because it's a part of mobile publisher, it includes support for biometric like fingerprint to unlock the app securely after logging in. So that biometric is not part of the normal Experience Cloud side. It is a part of mobile publisher. Okay, so that's it for our Experience Cloud capabilities. I hope we learned something and we brush up our skills. And now we can talk about the Marketing Cloud personalization platform. We renamed it recently as an Interaction Studio, which we are talking now Marketing Cloud personalization, right? So let me stop a second here. Let me see if anyone has any questions. Then immediately we can jump into personalization fundamentals, the Interaction Studio fundamentals. Okay, so no one has any questions. Then we can quickly jump into RIS platform, nothing but Marketing Cloud personalization. Well, interactions, how we do interact with each other nowadays, like one-on-one. Okay, I can call my friend and I can talk to him in person. I can talk to him in offline. I can talk to him via mobile, right? The real time. And still the system, we are innovative. We are an innovative industry right now with a lot of AI capabilities, AI driven capabilities. When we look at means one person, one user centric, audience centric, and then brand centric, right? So you talk about all these different interactions nowadays together with multiple personas all together, right? And how are we addressing the challenges? So is there any real-time personalization and interaction management at scale? And is there anything available inside in the current industry? Do we have anything which is available for real-time personalization to get the complete event streams of the person? Can we integrate with website, mobile, my CRM platforms, my multi-channel platforms, and to bring the entire conversations into one single platform? Of course, you have one that is nothing but Salesforce Interaction Studio, which is nothing but your personalization platform. As you said, right? We have different channels like website, mobile, sales, service, cloud, multi-channel platform, marketing, email campaigns. When we talk about kiosk, IVR, and POC terminal and ATMs, console events, and all these things, right? So each and every channel has their own tracking. If I talk about websites, they do have deep behavioral tracking in the context of business. When they talk about sales service, the sales will do the business and nurture the lead and qualify your lead, and the same service will support your business to resolve the cases. They'll act all your CRM activities, right? And for emails, for marketing cloud, you can use campaigns, opens, clicks, and responses, all the engagement. So you do all these channels where we have. Now we want to understand, is there any platform to understand with the engine is available to understand all my event streams to get my complete segmentation, so complete details about my audience? Of course, you do have one. So it can give you, if any of the, if you go to the website and you do some sort of browsing and you're just tracking or browsing your shoppers or anything, then what essentially interaction studio will do is it will listen your all your interactions. It will personalize your recommended actions. It will immediately pop up and show you offer products. It will seek the content what you're looking, and then it will give you the best next best actions as well. The same thing for mobile, it'll send you some in-app personalizations, push notifications, and for sales service cloud, it'll deliver insights, suggested offers, assigned tasks. For marketing multi-channel systems, it'll support you for email personalization, next best campaigns, add to journey, and the best of offers and what the system can do, they can do. So when you talk about the real-time one-on-one personalization in action, so when we work with, right, when there are 100 people there are 100 people who want to do a business, and those 100 people can divide the work themselves, and then they'll bring out the list of activities, and then they'll manage their entire work in a paper, so then in a paperwork, or they'll put it their Microsoft charts. So they have a lot of conversations inside them, right? But reality is, how do you make 100 people? It's okay, but can you make one-on-one personalization in action? So can you bring out all what Funny is doing with different channels like Twitter, LinkedIn, mobile, and the personalization that what he is clicking on different websites? So that's what real-time interaction, the interaction studio will does. So it will take the each and every person behavior of that what they're doing, and then they'll bring you out the different analytics altogether. It's a 4 pillars altogether. So as I said, all this happens in less than 30 milliseconds or less than 15 milliseconds now. What Interaction Studio does is it will identify the interaction, whether you're unidentified people or unanimous people. They know known people, system know unknown people. It's all completely works with IPs, and they do have individual accounts, identity switching. And after that, once they find out the identity, they'll understand the attributes and behavior of the persons, what they have done, and they'll find out the context catalogs. We can design those affinity profiles. We can design the segments, insights, codes, and all. And after that, we can decide which one we should leverage. Either we should leverage a model, we should leverage some rules, we could build some triggers, we use machine learning algorithms. You can determine the next best actions, and after that, then we would decide, then we will propose something to the customers. So let's propose to him the best personalization experience. Let's trigger the journey through marketing cloud, or he's browsing something, let's send some email for him and send some push notifications to him to purchase the deal, right? And at the same time, you can pass some segments, attributes, and you could analyze. Once the action is done, then probably the last thing is to get the KPIs, which comes all these 4 pillars: identity, understand, decide, act, and analyze. Analyze is the one which can talk about your calculation insights as well as your campaign analysis, and it gives you complete reporting of your business intelligence as well. So you see here the total thing, the total information, how fast the engines is going to be run. It'll all take less than 15 to 30 seconds of 30 milliseconds of the time. So that's fast. That much fast Interaction Studio it is. Now, how are we delivering the results with personalization? So the typical global industry, and they went ahead with across all the industries, and then they'll find out the segments. When we look at the conversion rate, 15% is very, very high in terms of 15% conversion rate, 8% revenue increment, 9% service cost decrease, and decrease in customer acquisition. So then if you get these many metrics, means you're successfully you're completely successfully admitted into the real world, and it'll give you a lot of significant amount of revenue which is generating for every enterprise companies. So that's what interaction studio, that I don't want to give and go very deep, big technical into this in terms of any architecture as such, but now I would like to showcase the demo. The demo can talk about how we can integrate interaction studio to the experience cloud, right? And what are all the best possible ways we can do it, and how the question, right, why we do this integration. Anybody have, I mean, everyone has this question, why we are doing it, right? So interaction studio has an ability that when you integrate to experience cloud, let's suppose you're one of the user, okay, Fanindra, and you build your interaction studio, your experience cloud site, and the content, normally you have your own content, and but the thing is, where you went to a couple of websites of different you went to my internal websites, and then you browse my products, and then let's take an example of B2B commerce cloud. You went to the products, and then you browse something, and then automatically you left, you log out something. When you log in once again, so automatically some recommendations will propose from interaction studio, because all the data that what you're doing in experience cloud, all the interactions what you have did in experience cloud, we are bringing back to interaction studio. As I said, we are getting all your data here, we are understanding your data, we are deciding what can be proposed to you, and that can be proposing directly to your experience cloud. That we can showcase how we can build the entire sitemaps, content zones, and how we could display your behavioral data back to experience cloud. So like this, somehow we could achieve some use cases. One use case is nothing but we could display the content that what you are browsing, and the system will automatically listens your content, and then it will display some best actions for you. And whenever you log in something, so we do have some ability to showcase your hey, hi, welcome kind of a message, welcome banner, and we could showcase some artificial intelligence personalization banners. All those things we can talk about it. Okay, let's go how we can integrate both the platforms. So after this, I have some use cases where we can talk about it, the amplifying experience cloud effects in revenue, cost, and retention using interaction studio. But let me complete the demo. Okay, so let me go to my experience cloud. First, what you have to do is you have to go to your developer console or anything. I'm just going with my developer console. I can explain you the step-by-step steps that how you can interact or integrate both the systems, both the platforms. Okay. So the number one point, you need at least a developer edition. You can go and then get your developer edition. Once you get the developer edition, what you can do is you can create a site. You can go to the sites. So as I said, right, so it's a experience cloud site. You can go and then create a new sites for you can just create a new site, and you can choose a template whichever you want. There's no restrictions. You can use B2B commerce, B2C, customer account portal, help center, anything. You can build anything, you can take any portal, any
I'm
template.
extremely sorry. I think your presentation is showing, not your browser is not showing.
Yep.
That sorry, I think I've shared only that slide, it seems. Let me share entire screen. Thank you for this. I think now you can see it, right?
Yes.
Okay, sorry. Until now, you see the presentation, right? If I'm not wrong.
Yes, funny.
Okay, thanks. So let me go back again. So, okay, in order to integrate both the platforms, right, I would recommend everyone to leverage, if you have your own developer sandbox, you can leverage, you can use it, or else you can use developer edition org. You could get the developer edition in developer.salesforce.com. You can get this. You can just go here and then you click on sign up. So this will give you the free developer edition. Okay. Once you get the developer edition, you can go to the sites. You can go to the all sites. And what you can do is you can just create a new site. And as I said, you have plenty of templates available. You could choose any of the template, and then you can just deploy. You can just publish your site. And before the site published, right, what you can do is we would recommend to create a domain for everyone. You can create your own domains. Domain is very important. So it's under my domain, under company settings. So you can create a domain, anything. You can just create a domain, and then you could deploy the domain. If it is a new org, if it's a old org, I'm pretty sure you guys will build Lightning Web Components, so it requires a domain to be enabled. So this is one of the steps. You can enable the domain and create a domain, and then deploy the domain. After that, create a site. So I created one site. So you can see this. I created this site. This is my site name, Singapore B2B Commerce. And once I created the site, you get the URL, this site URL. So what you have to do is, when you integrate with any third-party platform, any third-party cloud, whether it is Experience Cloud or whether it is B2C Commerce Cloud, you have to build a trust between both the platforms, nothing but both the clouds. To get the trust between both the clouds, what you have to do is you have to add this domain to their Interaction Studio website configurations. How you do is, once you've done this job, what you have to do is you have to log in with the Interaction Studio platform. I'm logging into Interaction Studio now. I will already logged into it. That's good. So you do have ability here, Interaction Studio. You can go to the Interaction Studio. It is a separate product inside Marketing Cloud that you have to reach out to your account executives to get it deployed. If you are a partner with Salesforce, so you could raise a partner support ticket and then they can enable it for you. Step number one, once you get Interaction Studio, what you have to do is you have to go and then create a data set first of all. I created multiple data sets for my different POCs and different technology leverage here. And the first thing what you have to do is you have to create a new data set. So that just click on data set, add the ID name and put the data set, production, QA, staging, development, put it in development for now because we're not going for live. And then you can just choose a track accounts, nothing but, so you can, if you have any B2B sites or if you want to do anything. So I think it is a good choice to track the accounts. You can enable the track account. Once you've done it, it'll create a one data set like this. I designed for Experience Studio. Once you design data set of Experience Studio, so you do have an ability that you can go to this, what you have to do is, once you create a data set, you have to go to the respective data set website configuration, because we are just using a website now, because that's my site is a website. You can calling it a website also, right? So what you have to do is you have to go to the web, and web, in this you have a website configuration. Go to the website configuration and just add the domain here. So here I added my domain here. See here, SG B2B Commerce Developer Edition, my URL, as well as you can see my domain devvd.my.salesforce.com, the site URL, right? So you have to add all these domains to the website and to the website configuration. After that, you have to come back to your site and you have to just click on the builder. Now you added your domains into website configuration. Now what you have to do is you have to take the JavaScript code, nothing but in order to interact both the platforms, right? So currently we enabled for website, we're only designing for web campaign, and because we are working in a websites now, so ideally we have to go to the web campaigns. Now here you can see a JavaScript integration. You click on the JavaScript integration. So this is a piece of code. This is a piece of code which you have to enable. This is nothing but a beacon. Beacon is a kind of what I can tell. It is like a CDN, which you can see here. It is like Interaction Studio JavaScript beacon. which can work with your CDN. That can give you a lot of significant amount of value, which can bring all the streaming data of your website. This simple code you have to copy, and then you have to go to your all sites, and then you have to go to your settings, and you can click on your advanced and edit markup. And from here, you just need to add your script here. Right, so that is a next step you have to do it, because this is a step will give you an enablement between both the clouds. Now you're set, your data between both the clouds will try to interact. The data that if anyone logging into your experience cloud, the streaming of the data will go, and then look into all the data will go and then logged under Interaction Studio platform, the one-on-one personalization data. So this is the step that you have to perform. After that, what you have to do is, once you establish this, what you have to do is, as I said, there are some components where you have to be enabled, nothing but the two components, one with Interaction Studio user data capture, the other one is the Interaction Studio personalization. Both are Lightning Web Components, which is specially designed for this exercise. So what it does is, this Lightning Web Component can enable the integration between Experience Cloud and send the events to Interaction Studio. Once you get this, once you embed this beacon code, the JavaScript beacon code, these two Lightning components can talk to the beacon and then send the streaming or the events data back to Interaction Studio. This is called User Studio user data capture. And these two codes, the personalization component, which works with your entire web campaign. The web campaign is nothing but whatever the content you would like to display inside your website, that content, this is all content, the web, the banner, everything that is coming from Interaction Studio. This is not a part of Experience Cloud, because Faninja is the one who is managing this site. I've logged into the site, then ultimately you see my welcome, and because I'm not at logged in as a user, it'll just display my welcome. But when I go to the live demo, then I can showcase it how it look like. So these components you have to deploy into your Sales or Service Cloud environment, nothing but your developer edition. Those two components you could get it in GitHub account. So these two, one with data capture, user data capture component, and you can get all the sliding web component, one with HTML, the JavaScript code, and you see the meta component available. You could just export these two directly. You could use this GitHub code. You can go and then get this GitHub code, and you can use this GitHub code to directly install or retrieve inside your Visual Studio, and then you could directly deploy these two components into your developer edition. These two are very, very important, because these two are the components where we design. I'll go through the code as well. If you're, so if you look at, right, so these are specially can give you an enablement between both the platforms. It will send you all the information. So Experience Cloud sends events to the Interaction Studio, and it'll capture the known user data, make sure the global action event, I have to configure inside Interaction Studio sitemap that I can tell you how it can be done. So the step would be, you have to integrate both this, you have to install both these Lightning Web Components inside your developer edition. You can leverage Visual Studio, or else you can copy paste this code directly inside your Lightning Web Component. You could design two Lightning Web Components using these codes. Once you design and deploy those components available under here, custom components, you can drag and drop those two components inside your homepage. One, you can, this data capture, Interaction Studio data capture, Interaction Studio personalization. Data capture will just send you the events to Interaction Studio. Personalization is the component where we can get the content zone, the web campaign data from Interaction Studio to Experience Cloud. You see here, this content I have used a home hero content zone. Nothing but the content zone is nothing but it works with Interaction Studio client side and the server side of the respective campaign, and then it pull the data into Experience Cloud. I have designed two, one with one home hero. I have designed one more with homemade. The two content zones I have designed for this exercise, and I designed one more component into my login screen that I can showcase. Once you set up this, once you drag and drop this, what you have to do is, you have to go to the settings, and then you have to go to the security and privacy. Here we have an option called content security policies. For this, you have to relax your CSP for all inline scripting and allowed host. You have to choose this option, relax CSP. And after that, you can, as I said, right, you have to trust the third-party platform. We already enlisted the domains of our Experience Cloud to Interaction Studio, but we need to trust the Interaction Studio platform as well, then what I'm doing is I'm just making these trusted sites. I'm just requesting my Experience Cloud site to allow these kind of domains. You see, one is Evergage cdn.evg.net. There's one more company CDN. The main URL of your Evergage. This URL you could directly get it here. You can see here you can get the main URL, your gates. You can go to the gates here. So in the gates you see here, so gates are nothing but an events, a kind of an API information which we can integrate to any third-party system. So this you have to enable. Once you enable this, you will get all this information to be enabled. You can enable all this information, can interact with any of the third-party websites. Not only in Experience Cloud, you could enable for any other third-party B2C commerce cloud or any other websites, mobile apps, anything. You have to pick this, and then you have to add inside your CSP sites. The other thing is you have to add the JavaScript beacon code as well. You see here, the beacon code that what we have got initial setup from this advanced, this header markup, right? You have to copy this beacon code, and then you have to add that and inside your CSP trusted sites here. Once you do this, you have to go back and then you have to enable the same structure in your content CSP trusted sites inside your Salesforce platform as well. The same kind of a concept. Evergage, EVGNet, partner epistoki, the main Evergage URL. You have to do this. Apart from this, you have to enable the course as well. You have to enable the course. Enable the course for the no, only CSP. My bad. You just enable the CSP for the respective trusted websites. When you add a CSP, right, for all these 3 trusted site URL, make sure you have to select everything. You have to select all these options because you're getting a data from XP Interaction Studio with HTML data, image data, media data. So you have to allow every data that has been rendering into Experience Cloud sites from the Interaction Studio. Once you've done this configuration, you're done with Experience Cloud configuration. Now the biggest question is, how are we displaying this data? Because this data, all this data coming from Interaction Studio. So what we have to do is we have to design a web campaign inside Interaction Studio, which contains your templates. Web campaign in typical Interaction Studio, when you want to build something to display for any websites like banner, or you want to pop up some image, pop up some login option, or you can send some Einstein email recommendations. So there are 4 components are really important. Those components are, I can explain that in a better way. So in IES platform, ideally, so Interaction Studio has any campaign. If you're building a website, you're integrating the Interaction Studio with your website JavaScript backend. Let's take a website. So here you just design a website, you get the JavaScript backend, you added it to the trusted websites that whom you integrate with. Now you have an option web campaigns. You have to design a web campaign. Under web campaign, you will get 4 options here. One with web templates. You have to design a web templates. Under this web templates, you will get for each and every template, we do have 4 major components. Those major components are nothing but one with handlebars. These handlebars, apart from this, you will get another 3, which is server-side code, client-side code, client-side code, server-side code, and these codes normally you get handlebar, server-side code, client-side code, and you will get one more that is a completely MVC architecture. Every ID system is an MVC architecture. So those details normally you have to design one web campaign in Interaction Studio to talk to your internal Experience Cloud sites to push all the recommendations. Those things you can find here because I've designed a web campaign. So these 3 web campaigns, one with home hero campaign, mid campaign, the login hero campaign. So currently I've disabled one campaign because doesn't make sense for me. I want to showcase two campaigns, one with home hero campaign that I'm displaying right now. That is nothing but this one. You see here the home hero campaign, the content zone that what I've designed. The other campaign that I've designed for login hero campaign that I'll showcase when I click on login. And within this campaign, as I said, each and every campaign associated with one web template. That template under web templates, you see all the templates that what we have. This home hero template, I'll just edit this home hero template, and this is a template where I use handlebar, CSS, client side code, and server side code. I forgot the CSS, most favorite of this, but I forgot it. So this handlebar will talk about the main importance of, because as you see here, I've just brought this the Evergage experience ID. I'm pausing the experience here, and you see here the display that what I would like to display whenever a person logging into my experience cloud. So all these components will retrieve immediately. If I go back to my site now, I can showcase as an end user how it can be done. So in this, I'll just pick this. I'll go to my incognito mode. I'm going to incognito mode. So this is my the home screen, which I'm not logging in anything. I'll go to my login screen. So here you can see the banner component, Trailblazer community, that is coming from Login Hero. And this community, this is the one that I've designed for this. Now you can see here when I logging into this place, I'll go to my Interaction Studio platform and I'll just showcase the one which is the login hero, right? The template that what I've designed. So here you can see the login hero, the source of the image that what I want to display. This is the image that I'm displaying in my home screen. And in this, I'm using some CSS where I was just managing the width of my CSS, the padding of everything that what I would like to manage, the client side code, which is interacting with my Experience Cloud site. So this is get content zone selector, which is where it will talk to my Evergage. Evergage is the the streaming event, and it will tell me the details about all what I would like to display using page element ID, and then you can see the campaign ID what I'm pushing here, and the experience of the variable that what I'm pushing here, and what kind of user group that I'm pushing here, because I'm just requesting my content zone selector to pick the content from my handlebar and then display this image as in login screen. This image is coming from Salesforce. You can put this image in anywhere, not a problem. But this I'm putting in CMS, Salesforce CMS, Salesforce Cloud, Salesforce, and this image is directly coming and then displaying here. Now, if I go to my event streams, right? So this event stream, if I go my Interaction Studio, I'll go my reports. You can see event stream. So this event stream, you see here, the 2 minutes back, I went to the login page. So you see the login page that what I've designed, the content zone, this login page, you see here, this user ID. It's just preparing the data. So once you get the data, you'll understand who is the person who is logged in, whether it's an anonymous user or he is unknown user, known user, you'll get the details about the person. Now here, I logged into it. Now I'm going to log into my Experience Cloud site. So I've logged into my Experience Cloud site. Once I logged into it, you see immediately it'll show me my welcome image. Along with it'll show me the banner where I have designed. So these two normally coming from Interaction Studio. And we do have something like product recommendations. If I browse anything here, automatically we can build some more content zones to display the products that what you're browsing here as well upfront. So how easily that we are managing, the person is logging into a site and then he's browsing something, and then immediately Interaction Studio pushing the best recommendations to him. And Interaction Studio will send this data back to Marketing Cloud to send some push notifications as well. See here, the same components have designed the component that body is coming. I can go to the reports again. I can check out the event stream. You look at the home hero campaign that what I have designed. So you can see the person who has clicked on the homepage view. Now it is unknown user. Until this is unknown user. Now it become an unknown user, and this known user details automatically captured by Interaction Studio, and he's a person Vidyut Krishna, and you see the email ID that what I've logged into my portal, and you see complete experience that what I've done so far with an engagement score, and you see the number of visits, KPIs, action segments, and you look at my segment membership with, you can look at my complete action yields. So what I've done, how many number of clicks I've done, home page, login page, all this information you will get it. So this event stream data I could ideally send to CDP, and CDP will unification your data, and then it will send to Marketing Cloud. Marketing Cloud will immediately send this information and put them into Journey, and then they'll send some notifications to your customer. Either they'll send push notifications, or they'll send the email, SMS, or in-app notifications as well. So this is how it works in terms of, you'll get all the event stream of the person here. See here, you'll get all the event stream, the details that what you have done from the past couple of days. And at the same time, as I said, right, I've designed a couple of other templates, especially currently, this is one template for the login hero. I designed another template, especially on the home hero template, the same kind of a concept. If you look at the home hero template, the handlebar which talks about the image that what I have, and you see here welcome, and somehow the first name is not displaying, really not sure what's happening. Welcome first name, and it will automatically display my name. I don't know why it's not displaying, but let me check why this is not displaying. It displays my welcome Vidyut or something, because my name is Vidyut here. It display Vidyut or something, and display the home banner component as the event it called. And you see in the client side code, this client side code is basically a JavaScript code. Whenever the page has been loading, we use Evergage utility displays. You see here the Interaction Studio Experience Cloud Helper, where I'm pulling the data of the user's information, and I'm just displaying in the console saying that just display my first name of the person whenever he logged into the Experience Cloud site. And the same has been designed here as well. These attributes will help you out to track the control experience of your Experience Cloud site. So these piece of code, the same piece of code, what will happen is, for the one more step I forgot to inform you, in the Experience Cloud site, apart from adding the beacon here, I forgot one point here. You have to add two more things. One with the this information. See here, one you have to add this code. The other code you have to add, this one is which can talk about your Interaction Studio Experience Cloud Helper. This is the method that we written for getting the data into Lightning Web Components. You see the same kind of a method we written, and it will ask you to showcase your the beacon detections, and the other piece of code to check the website whether it's running or not. For each and every time when the person logging into Experience Cloud, this function will check it out whether the V editor running or not, and then just check the storage of the respective site, the configurations, and the other one which talks about your installation, listening of your entire components, because this component, the CDC component that what we have designed here, this component doesn't display anything. You see here, when we drag and drop the change data capture component, you see here you can't able to see the change data capture component, because that component will only send the streaming data back to Interaction Studio, but it will not help you out for anything. It will just for streaming only. The rest of the personalization component, this component is very important to display the content coming from Interaction Studio. So this is the piece of code that you have to add, and this code is available here as well. You can click on this code. You can get the same code available under site supporting scripts, and you can just copy this code, the same code. You don't need to do anything, just copy this code and then put it in your Experience Cloud under head markup, and that too you have to put after your beacon script. Okay, so let me put this into chat, so probably you can leverage this. Okay, so this is the code, and you will get all the information, and this is how you can display your information. At the same time, I designed three web templates, one with home hero, login hero, and mid template, which I've published this, but I've deactivated the campaign. In terms of your entire affinity of the profile, if I can go back my streaming again, the event stream that what I have designed. So this is the one where I've looked into it, right? I can click on this. Still it's designing somehow. See, the other things are, if you want to look into other details where you want to troubleshoot something, you want to get some other information. So what you can do is probably, I can just cancel this. I can log out from this site. I'll log out as an admin. Okay. I'll just log in as an end user now. So here, myupmail.com. Now you can see here, now as an admin, I've logged into it because admin, I've not given some permissions inside my sitemap. And for this, you see, welcome Vidyot, the same sitemap that what I have designed. So it just captured here in the template. You see here in the handlebar, I've written a code which talk about my Evergage EVGNet display, welcome, the first name of my user. And here I talk about what kind of image that I want to display. So I've displayed this using handlebar. And once I logged into it, the same thing has been displayed here. Now this banner that I have ingested into CMS, I got the URL into sitemap and then I've displayed here. Now, if you look this right, now essentially, if I go back to my interaction studio, what I'll do is I'll just inject my beacon. So when you want to build something quickly and do test quickly for interaction studio, we would recommend to leverage this Evergage launcher. Is one of the Google Chrome extension designed by Evergage. You just enter your account of your interaction studio, give the dataset name that what you have created as a part of interaction studio, and then just inject the beacon. So here you have an option to you'll get the Forge SDK URL. If you want, you can add the Forge SDK URL as well, or else once you add these two, account and dataset, you can just click on this visual editor. Once you click on visual editor, automatically it will take you to the developer environment of interaction studio, where it'll give you all the templates you design, all the campaigns you design. I'll go to the view campaigns. I'll just check it out. You see the campaigns that what I have designed: home hero, login hero, and home mid section templates. So the home hero template, if you want to edit something, I can go this automatically. It will just showcase exactly. You see here now in this time, you can see the user data capture event has been enabled, and you see welcome screen here. If you want to debug something, you can get the logs also here. You get the debugger here, what kind of information you're getting at the home hero content zone. This is the zone that we have displayed here. And at the same time, if you want to write any piece of code, you could directly write some piece of code here, which can talk about which can directly debug your entire stuff, right? And you could publish this and code immediately. You can see the live. If you want to do something, go to the draft mode and then just edit the code, and then you could directly publish here. So like this, you could manage your entire code, which is very easily. And apart from this, if I look at my other stuff, if I have something, I'll close this, and you could look at the same thing. Some people comes with, hey, I want to design my own content zones. If I want to design my own templates, can I design that template? Of course, you could design a lot many templates. By default, Interaction Studio gives you the global templates. These global templates, you see, banner with call to action, instant decisions, content recommendations, product recommendations, intent pop-ups, email captures. There are plenty of templates available. You just clone this global template and then you can start working on those templates as well. You don't need to write code from start to scratch onwards. You just leverage these global templates, and these templates will help you out for sign in with call to action, redirecting, info bar with user attributes and call to action. So these global templates can give you a lot of maturity to reuse the code, and then you can build a lot of sophisticated content zones as well. And one more important thing, whenever you're logging into your Experience Cloud site, so once you drag and drop, make sure once you design your sitemap with the content zone, what you have to do is you have to enable that content zone. I'll show you a simple example how it look like. So in the Experience Builder, once you deploy the Lightning Web Components, when you drag and drop the Lightning Web Components, right? So in the Lightning Web Components here, you just need to add the content zone here. The content zones that what we design, the content zone what we design here in the web templates. So here you will get the content zone. You just copy this content zone and then you have to add the content zone here. Otherwise, the changes won't be reflected. The same thing, I've done the same thing for login as well. When you drag and drop the login with the same personalization component, the same component you could see the personalization component, you have to use the login hero. Right. So this is make sure you have to be enabled the right way. Otherwise, the content won't be retrieved from the Interaction Studio. And as I said, all the interactions will be comes here as reports, all the event streams you can see here. The different people is here. Fanindra has been logging as an admin, and you see Fanindra SG part. This is my user, and you can see all my attributes, my email address. And the most important thing, when you want to check it out, before you design any interaction studio or before creation of this experience, after creation of this data set, I would recommend to go and then set it up your, can set it up your identity types. So these identity types are by default given by interaction studio. If you want anything, let's suppose if you want to indicate with any third party and your user identity is different, maybe it's simply not the customer ID, not email address, maybe a mobile number or anything, you just create a new record here, and then you could just let them know what is an ID and what is the uniqueness of an ID, and you could manage all these things here. Apart from this, for complete settings of your engagement, you can look at your general setup, advanced options. You have to choose what is your identity attribute to find out the anonymous versus known versus unknown user. I typically use the email address, and you will get some more profile ID, Salesforce Marketing Cloud, subscriber key, email address, customer ID. So I normally go for email address because it's easy for finding my system with unknown to known user, right? So like this, you can integrate both the clouds seamlessly with all these options. As I said, all this material can be available under Salesforce B2C solution sites. And as I said, right, so if you look at this, whatever we have done so far, workflow, whatever I have showcased so far for you guys, it is exactly the same thing. We visited the Experience Cloud website. Data capture component captures the customer data and initialize Interaction Studio. Interaction Studio receives the data and requests for personalization campaigns. We register the components and we receive the campaign. All the entire flow that what I've discussed, everything is illustrated here. And the same thing, the configurations is available here. And this is a configuration that what we have done. The domains, adding the JavaScript beacon, and we added the CSP sites. I deployed the components and I created the sitemaps, and I just drag and drop my level C components, and I configure the sitemaps as well. So this is a complete code also given, but you just need to tweak your code a little bit in order to work out how it works, right? So these are all the web templates we have designed out ideally, and I'll just give you this entire material. I would recommend everyone to go and then try it out and then check it out, the functionality, and then come back to us if you have any such sort of issues or anything. We would happy to help you out as well. So yep, that's it. So I'll go back to my slide and I'll open for Q&A, and I'll walk through the rest of the use cases and how we can leverage for. There are 4 capabilities to amplify the Experience Cloud, effects on revenue, cost, and retention. One with A/B testing. So we can remove the guesswork from digital experience decision making, that unfiltered feedback directly from the customer behavior. You could just build your A/B inside Interaction Studio and then promote the right content to the Experience Cloud users. You can extend the personalization. As I said, we've designed some templates, we have designed some sitemaps. You could enable the sitemaps to Experience Cloud for a contextual relevant experiences that inspires your actions. And the content recommendations, you could recommend, as I've seen, right, there are plenty of global templates available where you can use the global template to build your own personalization based on the customer interactions and their characteristics and the preferences. You can push the data to Experience Cloud. For each and every user, you can see different content the person can see, because the data coming, all is browsing data coming into interaction. The Einstein of if you look at this one, right? So I forgot to tell you a few more things. In Interaction Studio, you see Einstein recipes. So normally I'll create Einstein recipes based on the data. Currently, this data set I've not created it, but I created for different data sets. I'll showcase that. You see, I've designed integration of Sales Service Cloud. I designed this recipes, and this recipes I've already designed. So based on this recipe, it automatically get your data, and then it'll automatically design one ingredient. It automatically get the data, and then what it'll do is it'll simulate. It'll just simulate your data, and then it'll push you the right recommendation to the customer. You see here, this is the kind of a recommendations you could just send it to, because this is a different POC I worked on. But this is the kind of a recommendation that push to Fanindra, but the random user person will come and then he browse it. Different recommendations will push to different users in Experience Cloud. That's the way you can leverage this Einstein recipes. You can do Einstein decisions, Einstein reporting. All these are available. You could just use this functionality with the global sitemap template and then push the data into Salesforce or Experience Cloud, right? The other thing is behavioral signals. So this is something which really good for, as I said, right? If person is behaving with different kind of browsing options, he went to so and so information, he went to product recommendations, he went to financial receipts, so he went to a couple of other information. So through interaction platform, we can send some next best actions, and then we could put the people into the marketing cloud journey to send some sort of communications to them. That will give you a lot of amount of reinventing our users back to the business. So pretty much these are all the things, and the most important thing, we are all working and we're all humans, and we're all bringing it to the life with different stuff, right? So that's where Cody has been happy and has been sleeping all the way. So that's it from my side. And once again, thank you for joining, and don't go away. There's a quiz is going on, but let me see if anyone has any questions and answers. I hope this session makes sense for everyone, at least to understand the significance of use cases, which definitely gives a lot of experience for both the clouds. Let me see if anyone has any questions. Okay, so far no questions from anyone. I think, let me know if anyone has any questions, so I'll happy to help you out. Definitely, this recording will be available. We will post you in, I can showcase one. I can post you on this YouTube group. I'll just. Yep, you can register this group, so you'll get all this events. I'll just. So everyone, I'll just put it here. You can subscribe this. So probably you'll get we have done plenty of integrations, cross cloud integrations now. Yes, the Experience Cloud page is responsive on the mobile web browser as well, Chandu. It works in mobile as well. Let me see if anyone has any questions. Okay. Let me know if anyone has any questions. You could reach out to me in LinkedIn as well, at Twitter. I'm happy to help you out for all the questions. And once again, thank you for joining. I hope this session definitely helped you out for all this, the experienced folks, newbies and all, what is both the clouds and how it can be helpful for running your business with different interactions, pushing the Einstein recommendations with the different content altogether, right? Thank you again, and don't go anyway. I think Prashant is going to run the quiz, and I'm just stopping my recording, so Prashant will run the quiz, or else I'll continue with the recording. Prashant, you can go and then run the quiz. I'll stop share my screen.
Thank you, Fani. That was a pretty wonderful session. About Interaction Studio and Community Cloud, Experience Cloud sites. Okay, I'll start the quiz. So I think this will generate the code. Yeah. So make sure you have this URL. So it's kahoot.it. Okay. And then that's the game pin. So if anybody is not aware, fastest fingers first will earn more points. Make sure you join with your names and not with your dummy names. We'll wait for 2 more minutes so that everybody joins. Okay, we'll start. Does anybody wants to join? Okay, more people coming in. Three, three more. Anybody else would like to join? Okay, I take it as a no. I'm locking the game. Okay, let's start. Use Interaction Studio to personalize Experience Cloud websites. That's a quiz name. Okay. Um, yeah. Pick the latest name for Dataroma.
As I said, guys, before the session, this slide will have a lot of questions. So,
We have, yeah, it's Marketing Cloud Intelligence. 16 people top. Okay, that's great. What about others? The numbers are not matching. Why are you late? So on the top, Vikas Kumar, then Jeena, then Srivali, next Lakshman, Venkat, and Virendra. Let's go to question number 2. What is Pardot now called as? Oh my God. Marketing Cloud Account Engagement. Still have 8 more questions, guys. I guess anybody can move the leaderboard. It's Srivali on the top now. Mohit Bharadwaj, Pritam, Sajan, and Sunil. Wow, all new names except. Okay. The self-paced online learning platform MyTrailhead is renamed as. Okay. It's Salesforce Sales Enablement. It's not sales enablement, it's Salesforce Sales Enablement. Let's see who's on the top. Mohit leads, then Sunil, then Srivali, no change of ranks, and then Lakshman Venkat moved up, and Chandu moved up. Yeah, let's go for the fourth question. Choose the 2022 Salesforce product name for Salesforce CMS. It's digital experiences. It's not personalization. It's not sales enablement. It's not content management system. Let's see who's on the top. Mohit Bharadwaj still leading. Sunil leading second. Srivali on third. Chandu fourth. Sajan moved up again. Marketing Cloud Email Studio now called as. It's just Marketing Cloud engagement. Pardot is already called as Marketing Cloud Account Engagement. Then how come MC Email Studio is again named as Marketing Cloud Account Engagement? Wow, Sunil is on streak. Wonderful. Let's see who leads. Real-time one-on-one interactions are in Marketing Cloud Personalization, Digital Experiences, MC Account Engagement, Marketing Cloud Intelligence. So it's Marketing Cloud Personalization. Interaction Studio. Neil lost the pace. Mohit tops, then Shrivali, then Sajan. Mitali has highest climber. Wow. And Virendra is on fifth. Great. What's the percentage of revenue in dollars delivering results with personalization across industries and segments? Anybody who followed the slides will be able to answer this question. Let's see how many will answer this question. Nine people. Wow. 8%. Let's see. Sunil again in the second position. Virendra third. Srivali fourth. Sarjan fifth. Mohit still leads. Wonderful Mohit. Tarun is the highest climber. Eighth question. Pick a tool useful for content creators and admins in experience management. Experience builder, security, experience analytics, scalability. Experience builder. Wow. Let's see who's on the leaderboard. Vijay is on streak. Wow. Shrivali second, Vijay third, Sarjan fourth, Sunil fifth. Mohit still leads. Ninth question. Which cloud incorporates behavioral signals into sales, service, and marketing cloud? Salesforce Experience Cloud. Srivali, Sarjan, Vijay. Sunil lost. Oh, wow. Not in top five. Last question, I guess, guys. So Mohit still leading. Let's see if anybody deboards Mohit. Last question, which helps you get unfiltered feedback directly from customer behavior? Marketing Cloud Intelligence, Marketing Cloud Personalization, A/B testing, Marketing Cloud Customer Data Platform. A/B testing. Let's see who's on the leaderboard.
Okay, great. I think Mohit, Sajan, Shivali, and who's the fourth one?
Vijay, funny.
Vijay is the fourth one. I think we can
Yes.
find out in, is anyone tweeted on Twitter? So we can find out in Twitter. Okay, I think Aryan Jaiswal. We can give Aryan a voucher. And the fourth one, who's the fourth one?
I can still show it.
Uh,
Fourth is Vijay Funny. Fifth is Virendra.
okay, I think the first four people. Can you just enter your full name and associated web SSR ID, please? No, we don't require Twitter, Sajan. So just give me your full name as well as your web SSR ID. Mohit, Srivalli, Sajan, and the fourth one, along with one more person, Aryan Jaiswal.